Hey everyone, this is Dan Bell, and welcome to the cutting room floor. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about the Everglades, mysterious Everglades featurette documentary that I put together. I am joined by my co-producer, Jake Williams.
It's me.
And we're just going to we're going to basically just talk about this whole experience of filming this this documentary, which we had a great time doing this.
I love this airboat coming to rescue us.
Yeah, so the story behind this airboat here, the airboat we were on with our tour guide, I can't remember that guy's name. Was it Captain Danny?
God, I have no idea.
I think it was Captain Danny.
I don't know how you remember that.
Anyway, our boat broke down, but it was actually a blessing in disguise because I was able to get all this great footage of like plants coming out of the water. The boat kind of was drifting, so it was some great like surface drifting shots. So it actually worked out pretty well, I think.
Yeah, it's we had to transfer airboats while on the water.
But we were out there for a good, I'd say half an hour just floating.
Was it that long?
Yeah, I think so.
It was also raining.
It was
too.
pouring when we left the dock. It was like the rain was just pouring down. This footage here, this alligator, I shot all this back in 2014 or 2013. I can't remember which date it was, but I was in Florida. I came down to the Glades to do basically just film stuff, and then I met these two people at this motel, Margie and Scott, and I ended up staying for a month and a half and just filming them and sort of their life living at this motel. And that documentary will be coming out onto Netflix and Amazon sometime in the next few months, so just keep an eye out for that. I still have some work to do on it before it's all said and done, but yeah, this town here, Palaca, was insane.
This is Pahokee.
Oh, where's Palaca?
I don't know what Palaca is.
Palatka?
What town was that? Did we go to Palaca?
I feel like we did. Palaca.
I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know where it is.
I don't either.
We went to so many different towns.
Palatka. There's a Palatka, Florida, though. I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right, but I don't remember going to it. I know this is Pahokee.
Yeah, this is Pahokee.
Lovely
Palatka.
town.
Oh, Pahokee's terrible. It really is. I mean, they said it was the worst place to live in Florida, or the worst city in Florida.
Yeah.
And this hospital, this place, we went wide open. Literally, the front door was just open.
Yeah, there's no security measures here.
Inside, there were tons of wasps,
Ugh.
mosquitoes, every critter you could imagine being a pest, like that will suck your blood or bite you, was inside of this building. And I wasn't actually planning to actually use this footage because Jake put together his whole video on Palaca. Pahokee. Why do I keep saying Palaca?
I don't know. I don't know what
We did
Palaca
something.
is.
We did something in Palaca.
Do you even know where Palaca is?
I'm looking it up right now because there's something there that I want to say. Palaca. I don't know.
Where is it?
Well, it looks like a very beautiful place.
Did we go to it?
I don't know. It looks lovely, though. It really does look nice. Looks like a lovely town with like Victorian homes and.
Well, I'm sure it's much better than Pahokee.
I would
that
say
being
so. Just seeing the pictures here.
Oh, there I am.
Yes, Jake finally made an appearance in the video. He's like, oh, there I am. Thank God I'm in this.
Finally.
No one would have believed I produced it.
We're 5 minutes in and there hasn't been at least one frame of me yet. I don't know why you put this in. It's just me panning up.
Well, thanks for questioning my editing abilities and choices. I really appreciate that.
Sorry.
No, I put this in just to show how sad you are and lonely. It was a sad.
What does that mean?
It was just showing like you filming something from behind in a very sad and lonely way.
I am a genius.
So this room here, I freaked out because when we walked in, I was buzzed by a wasp. And so I was like, oh my God, there's like this room, there's a wasp nest somewhere in this room. And also like hornets, like that's another thing you have to worry about.
Those hornets.
After Will and I got stung up down in New Mexico, I have a whole new understanding of just how dangerous bees can be. Because I never really thought about it before because I wasn't used to being like out in the desert where there's killer bees. I didn't, Africanized bees.
Yeah.
But this place was it was just like, what would be the word for this place? Unpleasant would be a good word for this.
Unpleasant would be a good descriptive word.
I couldn't wait to get the hell out of this hospital building.
I mean, unsavoring things go on in this building, I'm sure.
Did you say unsavoring?
What's the word?
It's unsavory, Rick.
Unsavory thing. You just call me Rick?
Yes.
Okay, so what are these shots from?
This is from a video when I was down there shooting the Glades. This was just kind of B-roll for the documentary, and
This is Lehigh.
no, that's
not Lehigh.
That's in Homestead. And I was out.
Oh,
I was
really?
out driving around. You see this boat? Just somebody dumped a boat in the middle of nowhere. There was, at the time I was there, there was a lot of unfinished homes, and the economy had collapsed, so it was really bad. But the driving shot of those homes, the empty ones, those have all been redone now, and they're back to normal. I think we drove over there, didn't we?
Oh, I can't remember. Do you think those were as a result of what was it? Hurricane Andrew was the Category 5?
Well, Hurricane Andrew was back in the 90s. I think they recovered. I think it was just like the housing, like the housing crisis of 2008. That would probably be what had happened. And here's
This place was
a beautiful
pretty great, too.
look at this beautiful panther. Oh, gorgeous. Look how gorgeous they are. Oh, I want to see a panther in the wild so bad.
We really tried.
We did. So this here, we're in the Fakahatchee Strand, which is really beautiful. That sunset. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, the potholes.
A lot of potholes.
I have nightmares of those potholes.
We actually, so I wanted to go take Jake into down Jane Scenic Drive. That was the plan. So we were going to get there through the squares, is what they call this area of the Fakahatchee Strand. They call it the squares. If you look at it on Google Earth, you'll see that it's a bunch of squares, and they're roads basically that are that were built back in the late 60s, early 70s. There was this big scam. It was called the Golden Acres community. I think that's what it was called, Golden Acres. And basically, they used to bring people down to Naples and Miami, and they would basically, like when you go places and they tell you, if you want to sit in on this seminar, you'll get 2 free nights, blah blah blah, that kind of thing.
Right, like a timeshare thing.
Timeshare, yes. So basically, they would bring people down from Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, all the states, that were cold. They would bring them down to Miami and Naples, and they would put them on a plane, and they would fly them over the Fakahatchee Strand with all these new roads in it. And they would be like, look, this is where you could put your house, an acre and a quarter.
So what was that, like the 70s?
Yeah, it was like early 70s.
Huh.
So they were selling an acre and a quarter, I think, for like $6,000. But the problem is that it was a swamp. So you really couldn't build there. It was just a giant scam.
Yeah, it was a huge scam.
So after that all fell apart, the state of Florida started to reacquire all that land because they realized the importance that it had on the health of the ecosystem of the Everglades, as well as being prime panther habitat. Because at that time there was only like 50 panthers or 30 panthers left in Florida, and and today we have, I think the number was like 130 to 280 panthers that are in the wild. The reason there's not more of them is because panthers sort of stake out their turf. And so if one panther goes into another panther's turf, they fight. And that's why the births are not, when a panther has cubs, it doesn't happen as often because there's not enough room for them to have this, habitat that they want.
So are there any Florida panthers in captivity anywhere?
Oh, yeah. I believe the Lowry Park Zoo has some, because there's some panthers that get hit by cars.
And they're taken in for care.
But then they realize, hey, this panther can't be released because it's not going to survive with its injuries. So they end up in being used for educational purposes, which I think is great. But yeah, the Florida Fish and Wildlife, they've worked so hard to bring panthers back into the Fakahatchee, into the panther refuge, even down in the Everglades. When you get down, because this right here, what we're looking at is, here's the owl part.
Oh, the owl.
That was so awesome.
That was unbelievable.
It really was. I thought I was laughing last night because you said, when you were talking about how I played the Shining soundtrack.
Yeah, I don't get scared very easily, but throughout the whole time, Dan, this is the actual only time where I was genuinely terrified. We're driving on this road in pitch black, and Dan's playing the soundtrack to The Shining. It's terrifying.
But it set the mood.
It certainly did.
It set the mood. Yeah, I mean, I like doing that sometimes. If you drive along those swamp roads, those back roads, and you put on some scary music, it's so much fun.
I love the few shots where you just step out of the vehicle, turn that light panel on, and you're engulfed by insects.
There were so many bugs. And this was end of summer, so it wouldn't have been as bad if we were there as like July or August.
Oh, you think it would have been worse then?
Oh, it would have been terrible.
Oh, God.
But yeah, the bugs in the Everglades are no joke. That's the only thing about the Everglades that's annoying, is the bugs. Yeah. But like I said, I mean, I really hope... Oh, somebody tweeted us with their dog watching this this part right here where the owls start making all that fuss out in the swamp, and their dog is just completely mystified. He's like, what is going on? I mean, it was basically the same as us, but that was so insane that...
It sounded like monkeys.
It did.
In the
Speaking
forest.
of monkeys...
Oh gosh.
So I recounted a incident that I had over on the Film It channel. Anyway, I thought I heard monkeys over in the Fakahatchee. It was actually, I'm pretty sure it was a bobcat now. I was listening to footage of angry bobcats, and I'm like, I thought I heard the skunk ape. Like I was all excited. I'm like, damn, I heard the skunk ape, but it's just
A bobcat.
a bobcat.
An angry bobcat.
Yeah. They sound. Have you? It is the most terrifying noise. These bobcats, when they're angry or pissed off, or hunting or whatever, man, the noise they make is unbelievable. Or if they're like both fighting each other.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's terrible.
Huh.
But we had a great time down here. I mean, we went to all sort of. I mean, we basically went from Pahokee, where that's kind of where the Everglades begins, at Lake Okeechobee.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked our way all the way down to Big Cypress. And I don't think, did we go into Everglades National? I don't think we did.
I don't. Where was that Indian reservation? It's in this video. It's where that guy had the gator on his chin.
Oh,
That was at like the edge of
the
Miami.
Miccosukees, I think that's what they're called. The
Oh, is that what
Miccosukees. Yeah, that was the reservation there. But that's not the Glades. The Glades, you have to go to Homestead. We were in Homestead because we went to Coral Castle.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we went in the Glades. I think we were kind of
Yeah, we
tired
didn't
of.
go in the Glades.
Yeah, I think we were at that point.
I know you wanted to because you wanted to see a crocodile, but
Oh yeah, but you have to drive like 50 miles all the way down through
It's
the
far.
park to see them.
I like this camo gator skull.
I don't. Is that camo or is it? It just looks like it. They dipped it in
No, it's
Pepto-Bismol.
pink camo or Pepto Bismol. They just dipped it in a tub of Pepto Bismol.
Now this zoo is a lot of fun.
How much was it?
I think it was $12.
Oh, that's not bad.
But it's fun. I mean, it's real hands-on. So if you like to touch snakes and hold alligators, this is a place you want to go.
The man who was overseeing all the animals was a very nice
Oh,
gentleman.
he
as
was
well.
so nice, very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
This snake was unbelievable.
What do you say? 350 pounds.
And 21 feet. But just the fact that you touch it and it like starts
Yeah,
twitching.
that was weird.
I
really
I
jolts.
should have got a shot of you outside the window. That's the only thing I was upset on. Like, why didn't you?
Yeah.
You look like horrified.
I was staring in mystery.
Yeah. But
Do you know what kind of snake this was?
I think it's I mean, I assume it's a python, or a.
That's what I thought. I don't
a
think he
Burmese.
ever said the name.
It's probably a Burmese python.
I didn't know they got that big.
Oh yeah, and there's snakes. There's Burmese pythons that big in the swamp.
Oh my god! Can you imagine coming across that?
Yeah, you got to kill them.
Yeah, good luck fighting that.
No, I mean that's people say, "Oh, what do you mean you have to kill it?" The snakes are invasive to the Everglades. If people let them go, they buy them at a pet store. They let them go. They grow to 20 feet long. They have no predators in the Everglades, so basically it's just like a free buffet for these snakes, and they're eating panther cubs. They're eating deer. They're eating all these things that.
Yeah, people think they don't have predators. Oh well, gators will get them. They'll swallow gators.
Yeah, they literally. There's a video on YouTube of somebody. Oh, this rat ate through that. Oh, I almost fell out. I was like, I can't believe he's like, and I mean frozen.
I think this is the largest gator we saw in our Florida adventure.
Oh, I'd say so. This was a very big out. I mean, he's been there forever though. Ever since
was
I've been
huge.
going. I forget what the story is with that gator. I think he's I think he was a show gator at one time.
Oh, is that what he said?
I think that because I had heard from Dave the Sheely who owns this place. I think I talked to him years ago, and he said that they were gonna the show or whatever shut down, and they were gonna turn him into boots. So Dave took him in and put him in the zoo.
Oh, I like the hands-on with the small gators.
I like how it was hissing. It was a pissed off little gator. But they are beautiful animals. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when a little earlier in the video when we were just walking up on that one on the side of the road.
Yeah.
They're very prehistoric looking.
Yeah. They haven't changed since prehistoric times.
No.
They just got smaller, but they're basically the same animal.
Like,
I know, I love that. I wonder, like, I kind of wanted to put my finger in there just to see.
oh, yeah, that'll work out.
But it's a small gator. It can't have that big of a bite.
Yeah, but they have strong...
Oh, look at that tortoise. It's so cute. They're
I
adorable.
like the flower I like the flower that you feed them.
They were adorable. Now, it was hot as hell out here. Sweat, bugs.
And that was just in October.
Yeah, it was in October.
I couldn't imagine the summer.
Jake and I, we got an Airbnb in Marco Island. We were so bored in Marco.
There's really not much to do.
I was like, there's nothing to do here. The place closed down at like 7 o'clock. Everything's closed.
I wanted Wendy's, and Dan was editing, I think, Dirty Room at the time, and I had to drive to Naples to go to find a Wendy's that was open.
It's ridiculous. And where's the beach? It seems like all the beaches on Marco are private.
Yeah, even the hotels there, like the Hilton and everything, they're so boring.
It's awful. It's just, you got to be rich to enjoy that place. And the place we got was nice, but it was cheap.
It was cheap.
Yeah.
It was a nice house, though.
It was a nice house. Except I hated they had no, like, sun-blocking curtains in it.
Oh, yeah, you had to...
I tinfoiled...
a tinfoil and put it on the window.
I tinfoiled the windows because I
we
was...
have a crack den.
Well, we're out late working. You know, we were out in the swamp 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I'm like, I'm not going to, I don't want the sun like in my face while I'm trying to sleep.
God.
I got that place nice and dark.
I think the one night that we did, the main night where we actually trekked through the glades at 4 a.m., I don't think we got back to Marco Island until 6:37.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely, the sun was coming up. Remember we got pulled over, too?
Yeah, we got pulled over on the way home, too.
And the cops were like, what the hell are you two doing out here? And I had to tell them, I'm like, well, we're taking pictures of the night sky. Because they get a lot of cocaine deliveries on that road.
Yeah, it's from Miami to
Naples. That's
Naples.
A thoroughfare to take your drugs through there. Now, this footage here of the quote-unquote skunk ape, this is the footage Dave actually took.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He took this. And Dave, he was on Unsolved Mysteries. You got to go watch Unsolved Mysteries about Florida's Bigfoot or Florida's skunk ape. And Dave is on that show. He's a really nice guy. And
yeah, he is.
He was talking about, he was like, oh, I was out late last night frog hunting. And he was. He collected like all these frogs and they eat them. He's into that old school Everglades diet where you eat
definitely
you're
old school.
Yeah, you're eating like frogs and snakes and all that other stuff. Gator meat.
This footage, I'm very skeptical about, Dan.
Oh, I totally believe it's real. I'm a believer. I heard monkeys out in the Fakahatchee. Don't tell me what this is.
I will say, whoever made this, because I find it very hard to believe that it's real. They did the sound very well. The way it's like ripping off the branches, it sounds very good.
Yeah.
It sounds realistic.
And then when it stands up, the person runs off. Well, I still think it's a creepy video.
That's creepy.
Now, this guy here he works at the Skunk Ape Research Center. He's really nice.
Also very nice, yeah.
He does tours in the swamp, and he gave us, I still have that postcard he gave us of the pictures he took of the panthers.
Oh, yeah.
He was lucky enough to spot, literally spotting a panther in the Glades or in Big Cypress or Fat Cat is like almost impossible. Like I have spent so much time out there by myself just waiting to see a panther.
Yeah, once Dan starts to talk about panthers with everyone from the Glades, they're talking about it for 55 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Well, everyone's so interested. That's interesting. It's the swamp cat. Sorry, you weren't interested. You just wanted to go to frickin' Wendy's and like, let's go. Oh, let's go check out the lobby of this bougie hotel. I'm really interested in this.
I don't think we were doing that in the Glades.
Palatka. Where? What did we do? We went to Palatka. I'm telling you.
What the hell? Why are you so fixated on Palatka?
Hold on, I gotta see what we did there. We did.
I love the
we
music.
went to Palatka. Oh, the music for this. For this specific. Now wait a minute. I'm looking at Palatka. It seems like. Oh, you know what?
What?
I have no idea what I was doing in Palatka. I've been there before,
Oh
though.
my God.
I've been there for some reason. Isn't
What
this?
the hell? Palaka's like by Jacksonville.
It's not. It's not Jacksonville. It's Jacksonville. Anyway, this gorgeous footage I shot in the swamp. Now people say,
Oh,
"Oh,
you on this GoPro?
yeah." They were like, "Oh, you were on a kayak?" And I'm like, "No, no, 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 bitch! I was in the water. I have my goggles on. I'm swimming around with alligators and snapping turtles." But you know the thing about
Why is this shot in this film?
again, you know, I love you questioning my decisions, editorial decisions, but you're not a part of that process.
No, I guess not.
So
This gator was also very large.
I know, he was. He crushed me when we were having sex. He was a little rough.
A little scaly.
But this is like old school Florida hokum right here. Alligator wrestling, like, there's not many places that do this anymore. I think this is probably one of the only places left that actually does a show like this. It used to be they did it at the gas station back in the 50s and 60s. They'd have a gator pit out back, and one of the Seminoles would jump in there and do gator wrestling. And man, this. I want to mention this. What when we were here, there was so much flooding because Florida had been socked with rain, and we're driving in my car, which is an X1. I mean, it's basically an SUV, but it's it's not equipped to go through like 3 feet of water. So it was.
I don't think anyone's taking their X1 out of the Glades.
It was a little nerve-wracking, but the car did well. It got around.
I remember there was fish when we were driving on the road. You can see fish swimming across the water.
Do you remember when we were on there and that huge? It was at night, and that huge alligator is sitting on the road.
Yeah, I have a video of that. It's hissing.
It started hissing at us. Oh, that was so great! I was so pissed off that I didn't think. I was just like transfixed. I was so pissed off that I didn't think to pull my phone out. I love this shot right here. I love that.
Yeah, you had your hands with the camera out the sunroof.
Trying to get these shots done. And
I feel it gets risky.
Oh yeah, real risky. When we were shooting this, I was using a 3D mic, which is like this. It's called the Mitra, Mitra Pro. It's this giant, ridiculous-looking microphone.
It's not very practical.
No, it's not practical at all. But the sound is stunning because you can hear you can hear everything. But it takes a lot of editing, a lot of tests to see what sounds better. But I had that thing strapped the whole time I was shooting, and I love the sound, but man, it's a pain in the ass to work with. And I had those two those windscreens on it.
I mean, think of the most ridiculous mic you can think of, and then multiply that by 50.
Yeah,
that's the mic.
Pretty much.
I mean, every time I looked at you, you looked ridiculous.
Well,
and then you had the mic.
Well, who's ridiculous now?
Still you, actually. I love this shot. Did you take this with me? Because I don't remember this.
No. That was I was out on the Loop Road. I think that is. That's definitely the Loop Road. Back in the day.
I love this. It's an amazing shot. This.
Oh, I know. Thank you.
Can never compliment Dan.
I know. Thank you very much.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, these like eerie sort of early evening shots of the Glades.
Yeah, it's.
I love this, and this is all video that I've had for. I mean, I've had this stuff forever, but it worked well to kind of separate segments.
Well, this is what I was like. Oh, here's the hotel.
Which I'm so glad I didn't get bit by a snake when we were going through that grass.
I can't believe, when it comes up in a few seconds, I gotta mention it, but I can't believe you were trekking through that grass with no protection. You were in shorts.
I was wearing a condom. The hell's wrong with you?
You had 2 condoms on your legs wrapped around your foot.
I was staying away from the venom. No, I probably should have chose a better outfit, but
probably
the Glades
bugs in this.
In the Glades, it's if you have nice clothes, it's a waste of an outfit. Don't do it.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I mean, if you have like a nice outfit, don't wear it to the Glades.
I actually looked up a video of people inside this building. The only way into this building, from my understand, is you have to hop up on that roof and then go through that broken window.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
So that's why we didn't get into this building.
Well,
but from the outside,
you probably could have done it. I would have been.
I'm not going in there alone.
What are you, a wimp?
You. Yeah.
I look like the Stay Puft Mosquito Man.
You didn't give me one. You took it for yourself.
Well, you had a chance to purchase one, and you decided to move past that. So
I don't recall that decision.
When we were at Clyde Butcher's place, at his gallery.
Oh, is that where you got it?
No, I didn't buy mine there, but I bought mine at like Bass Pro Shop. But they sold them there.
No, I don't remember that.
And if you guys don't know who Clyde Butcher is, you got to look him up. He's this photographer who takes incredible photographs of the Everglades.
They're shot with
large format.
Yeah.
I mean, his stuff is, oh my God. That one big print of the beach with and I know, like, I'm not a person who's like, oh, I need a like picture of seashells with, I hate that shit. This is like classic, like
black and white,
gorgeous, large scale. I mean, it's just stunning. But that one piece was like $20,000.
Look at the bugs. There's a dragonfly.
Dragonflies were everywhere. That's why when I go over to that wall, once I get through the weeds, I like freaked out and like pushed my headphones off because a dragonfly got stuck between the thing that's on my head for the mic. It went in between it and got stuck, and it started like.
No, I was wondering what happened there.
Yeah, so right here is a dragonfly went right into my headphone thingy. It was a very
this building. Oh yeah,
yeah. I was like, okay.
You're really startled there.
It just
Did
felt.
you take the headphones?
Yeah, they were broken. They were broken.
I mean, the golden duct tape.
So I used gold duct tape. And the gross flip flops that I wear around my house and stuff, like they're duct taped as well with gold.
Oh.
So they look like really fancy, but this lady was like, "Oh, those are weird shoes." And I'm like, "Oh, they're Kanye West."
Yeah, they're Gucci.
They're Yeezus. What does he call his
Yeezus?
His clothing line?
Yeezus.
What do they call it? Yeezus?
Yeezys.
Yeezys, right?
Not fucking Yeezus.
It's Yeezy.
Derived from Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
This house was horrifying.
Very creepy.
I actually looked at Google Maps on this building, and it must have happened recently when we got there, but this entire thing was covered in forest. So they clear cut a section out of this house, I guess, to sell it, or I don't know.
No, this is I'm almost certain the park owns this. This can't.
Well, why would they clear like where you're standing in this shot right now? It was like full forest surrounding that house.
Oh, maybe. I mean, maybe they're trying to sell it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. But I don't know who's gonna buy this.
I would. I would turn. I would turn it in.
Would you live in this?
No, I would build a house behind it.
Behind it.
Like Clyde Butcher. He has those beautiful houses behind his gallery that are like stunning. They're
Really?
right in the swamp. Yeah, you look it up. But it's so expensive to stay there. I want to stay there, but it's like $300 a night.
I kind of do remember that. I remember that in the brochure.
Yes, in the brochure.
Yeah, in the brochure. What?
Now, to the right here, down in that was a gator pit at one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so when this was a gas station or service station, they had a gator pit down. So they had a couple gators down in that pit, and then this was like an outdoor zoo kind of area. So they had like birds,
Really?
snakes, all local Everglades wildlife.
Look at all the the spider web.
Such a wimp.
Do you remember we were driving down that road? There would be like webs in the middle of the road, and the car would hit it, and the spiders would go flying in the sunroof.
It was how many spiders fell into the car when we were driving?
Yeah, you were like, "Oh, Jake, don't worry. There's gonna be no spiders." And I grab a flashlight and start investigating. I find like 5 or 6 of them.
I mean, when I came home from being out west, I was cleaning the car out and found a scorpion.
Holy, are you serious?
Oh yeah, it must have
Was
crawled.
it dead?
It was kind of alive, but not doing very well.
Holy shit! Look at the what do you call those mud daubers?
Mud daubers, yeah. They're
There
everywhere.
were hundreds of mud dauber nests in that house. Ugh.
Now, Grant, this is like 2 a.m. when we're doing this,
Yeah.
and I heard something move under the house, like something big. I guarantee you, there's a couple gators.
Gator?
Yeah, because the underneath of the house is water.
God, can you imagine if you fell through that?
Well, you'd meet some new friends.
Yeah, you lose your legs.
That's for sure. Like, oh, I got some new friends down here.
Drag half a torso out.
They're going to eat me.
Oh, that spider.
Somebody said it was a wood spider or something, that they're harmless. You can actually pick them up.
Really?
Yeah, as long as they're not like freaked out, they won't bite.
I've heard conflicting species assumptions. Brennan said it was something. I thought it was a wolf spider, but I don't know.
Well, what does Brennan know? I mean, seriously, let's get real for a minute.
I
Brennan
guess nothing.
Brennan is the new co-host of Another Dirty Room, and you can check out his channel, Uncharted Travel. He should just call it Uninteresting Travel, because I'm just
It
kidding.
doesn't make sense. It
I'm
doesn't
just
make
kidding.
sense.
I love Brennan.
Ah,
There he is.
Christ, that thing's huge.
Oh, he was sweet.
God. Oh, lovely.
But you know, the thing is, like, can you imagine how many bugs there would be in the Glades if there weren't any spiders?
I'm sure they get a feast every night.
And that spider, I don't even think a spider like that does a web. I think they just...
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. What does it eat?
I think it hunts, like, insects that are on the ground. I wonder if a spider like that would eat, like, kill a mouse.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. I wonder if it feeds off of dead mammals like bunnies or mice or rats or anything.
Bunnies.
Yeah.
What are you, 4 years old with the bunnies?
I mean, it's not going to. Okay, fine, rabbit.
By the way, I get to work with Jake for 13 episodes of Another Dirty Room. I can't wait.
Why do you say it like that?
I can't wait for that. It's going to be so much fun.
I'm the one setting money up for you.
Thank you. That's your job.
That's it.
That is your job.
Look at this stunning photograph.
Hideous. It's the
By Jake
worst photo I've ever seen. That camera is amazing. The Sony A7S II is unbelievable.
Yeah, it takes like several photographs and then pieces them together into one. It's incredible in how it does
This
it.
shot here doesn't do that picture justice because it was absolutely stunning. I mean, Jake were taking the picture and then it came out and Jake's like, "Oh my God, look at this."
Yeah.
We're just like, "Oh my God." Because I never take photos with my camera. I only use it to shoot video.
Yeah.
So I never really, I take photos with my Polaroid camera. I'm much more into taking fuzzy Polaroids than detailed high def.
Yeah, you're not taking star photography with a Polaroid.
So here's our walk through the.
What are you doing in this?
Okay, so I'm doing that so I don't walk into spider webs.
Webs?
Yeah, that's the first thing you do when you're walking.
Well, then you stopped.
Yeah, I was dying. I had the frickin' camera with that Mitra mic on the top.
Yeah, we really should have come more prepared because the only flashlight I had was the little one on top of that heat sensing device.
If our lights went out, we just feel our way back. We would have been just fine. You're being ridiculous, Jake.
Yeah, you're right. We should have just crawled back.
This
My machete.
This trail is called the Gator Loop, and it is right.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the Gator Loop.
Nice.
It's right off the loop road on the I keep saying Palaca. It's not Palaca.
Oh my God.
It's not Palaca.
Palaca is on the other side of Florida, Dan.
No, it's the northern part of the northern part of the loop road. This is where look at the size of that gator.
I don't even remember this. Was I with you?
Remember I pushed you on top of it?
Oh yeah, I wrote it. I wrote it through the glades.
I said just hold on and he'll swim you through the water.
Yeah, that was fun.
I didn't
Who needs an airboat?
I didn't include that in this.
No, you forgot. The footage is lost forever.
No, but seriously though, if you go to the glades, do not harass or get near alligators. You can look at them, but don't swim with them like I did. Which was like almost impossible. You can't. We tried shooting them from the surface with a GoPro on a stick. You couldn't get near these things. They take
Really?
off. Because we saw plenty of gators that just took off as soon as we.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm like, I am going to just get in the water with a snorkel and slowly approach the alligators. And it took like 3 tries, and I finally got one that sat still so I could shoot it. And then I got another one. And then I filmed 2 more gators the next day in the water. And they're actually quite docile in the water. They're actually afraid to be near a person, so you have to be really still. But then I swam up a canal, and the lady Margie was with me, God rest her soul, and we were swimming up this canal, and underneath of me, I see these ridges, and there was about a 10 or 11-foot alligator, not 4 feet underneath of me as I'm floating on the surface, and it started to back up, and I'm like, uh-oh. So I just slowly backed away from it because you couldn't see because there's like a canopy of trees over top, so there's no sunlight in this canal, so the water is dark and you can't see anything. That was a little frightening. After that, I was like, well, I should stay only in sunny waters.
Yeah.
But I don't recommend people swim with alligators. I was actually in there with somebody keeping an eye on me.
Every gator we came in contact with, though, they usually just ran
They're
away.
very skittish.
Yeah. Thankfully, we didn't run into one on this trail at night.
Unless it's mating season, or there is a mother gator with her babies nearby. You do not want to get near those kind of gators. They will kill you.
What's mating season? When is that?
I think mating season starts in the spring, and then they have their eggs Or wait a minute, maybe it's summer and then they have their eggs the next spring. I don't remember. I have to look that up. Okay, so here's our scary moment in the swamp.
Yeah, here we are terrified.
I really wasn't scared. I thought that we were hearing a bear, which it was a large being.
Why would a bear be out there? It was how would it be a bear?
No, there's bears out there.
In the swamp?
Yeah, black bears. They're everywhere.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then that we should be concerned about that.
No, they are the most skittish animals. I saw one on Jane Scenic Drive once that was in the road, and as soon as I saw it, it like looked at me and just took off.
Yeah, maybe on the road, but we're in its hunting area.
But no. These black bears in the Everglades, they're not like grizzlies. They're black bears. They take off. I've never had a problem with, especially if they're in the glades. People, it's not like the Smoky Mountains where people are like feeding them and stuff, and then they.
Yeah, that's true.
These are solitary animals that are out in the middle of nowhere. So, but I think that probably was a bear. Sounded like a bear.
And you're trekking through the water, the clear water, with shoes on
Well, listen.
and shorts.
This is the thing. The Seminoles have been here for hundreds of years in this swamp. Thousands of years. No.
That's
Listen.
broken logic.
Thousands of years. They walk through the swamp barefoot.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them died because of cottonmouths.
That's not true. No.
How do you know?
They persevered as a tribe and have been through everything in that swamp, and they walk through barefoot. This is not. Everyone today is so like, oh my God, blah blah blah. We didn't see one goddamn snake when we were out
they're
there.
also probably not trekking through the swamp at 4 a.m. in the morning.
I don't know if anyone noticed, but I love that song. The you're out of the woods, you're out of the song from Wizard of Oz after they come out of the poppy field. I thought that was an appropriate addition to us surviving.
I look rugged.
That's one thing you don't look like. I'm sorry, Jake. You look like you look like a small child on a field trip.
Well, with the machete.
And your teacher just left you and took off because they were annoyed. And here we're going to this shot of the beautiful sky, gorgeous, and this nice surface shot here of that. This is when we were broken down on the airboat.
Yeah,
I love that. It looks so pretty.
that airboat was cool.
And here is my favorite Florida animal, the manatee, which I adore them.
Was this in Crystal River?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was Three Sisters. So the thing...
Why isn't there anyone else?
The thing you have to do... Okay, this is my word of advice if you want to swim with manatees and not have, like, every tourist in the world bothering you. I went here... This was, like, literally 5 o'clock in the evening. Nobody's there. And I went into the spring for, like, 2 weeks. Up that canal that you couldn't swim back. Remember, we went on that canal?
Yeah.
And Jake got so cold he couldn't do it. So the water is...
I'm like 30 pounds.
Yeah, the water is chilly. But I'm the size of a manatee, so I can withstand the freezing cold spring water. But yeah, look at it yawning. Manatee yawning. It's so crazy. But yeah, so I just spent all this time in there. I was literally the only person in the spring with probably 24 manatees. And they come right up to me and... they're like, it's almost like some of them they want to get pet or rubbed. But
They're curious.
I try to do passive observation. I don't agree with actually rubbing or petting a manatee. I think you should just let the manatee come over and do its thing. But But it's hard sometimes because they are so adorable. You just want to scratch them because they're so cute. Oh, look how.
All right, we got to wrap up.
Oh yes, it's the end. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for enjoying. I'm glad everyone enjoyed it, and the documentary. And Jake did a wonderful job.
It was a lot of fun. I had a ton of fun doing
And we're
this.
going back in October, so
You're damn right we are.
yes. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching.
Bye, everyone.